Hey everyone, this is Mr. Dunkel. Today I want to show you a website called BeFunky that is a really great photo editor that's totally free. You do not have to sign up for it. There is an advantage if you do sign up, because if you do sign up, you can save your work and come back and edit it later, and it hangs on to the things you've already created. But if you're going to do that, make sure you get parent permission to do so. Otherwise, you can just come to befunky.com and go ahead and create something while you're there. You just have to create it all in one session and then go ahead and download it. So we're going to do some stuff today with photo editing because it's one of the standards that we need you to get better at, because you're going to be doing a lot of presentations going forward. So we want to make sure that you're able to create good graphics to support, it could be a science fair project or a history project or whatever it is you may be doing. So this is a really good site that's free. So let's go ahead and get started. You can go to just befunky.com. It takes you to this page. I do have, though, on my website under tutorials, a link. And if you click the link on my page, it'll take you here, which is just one step farther into the process. So when you get here, you're going to see that you have a pop-up box asking you where is your photo. Now, most of the time, you're going to click on My Computer because you will have already had a photograph that's been downloaded, something from Google Images maybe, that's on your directory. So you go to My Computer to upload it. But what we're going to do today to just play around with a couple things is we are going to choose Sample. And Sample is going to pull up our sample image that we can all work on. And I want to walk you through a few of the essentials here. And let's go through those and see some of the things we can do. So I'm going to go kind of quickly. You can obviously pause and restart this tutorial as you need, or go back and hear something again. So I'm not going to touch on everything here, but I'm going to go through these basic commands over here on the left and a few of the real important ones. First thing I want you to notice is this one called crop. So click on crop, and you'll notice when you click on crop, you get a little tic-tac-toe board. And this tic-tac-toe board represents an artistic thing called the rule of thirds. And what artists and photographers have discovered is, rather than having whatever you want the audience to look at, your subject, rather than having it in the middle, your brain tends to think it's more interesting if it's on one of the intersecting points. So you notice we have 4 parts where the vertical and horizontal lines intersect. And so what you want to do is take whatever you want the audience to focus on and try to put it on one of those points. So we're going to do that here. If you want to size it, make it a little bit bigger, you can. But the key is just make sure that the little cross intersecting point is somewhere here in the open 24 hours sign. So once you have that, click apply. And now we have a kind of newer photo where our eyes really drawn to that part right there. A couple of things in this essential section under beautify. You can, when you click on it, notice it gets a little more colorful, and you can drag that slider left or right. Apply that if you like. Exposure, a couple of things to notice here. Brightness kind of washes everything out. If you drag it to the left, it makes things darker, so you can make it look more like a night scene. So that comes in handy sometimes. Contrast will kind of bump the colors just a little bit, make them stand out a little bit more. So apply that if you like. The colors section right here, when you click on it, notice that hue, when I drag hue, I can change like all the colors to different colors. So sometimes that's helpful. Saturation will just make the colors a little bit more vibrant if you want to drag that a little bit. If you drag saturation only to the left, it makes it grayscale. So get that how you like it. Apply it if you want. You can cancel if you don't want to apply any color changes. And that's really about all we're going to work on in this part. The touch-up section, just so you can see it, is really good if you're dealing with a photograph of a person, because you can fix red eye, change eye color, and things of that nature. Edges, when we come to it, there's a really important one called vignette, and this is often used in a lot of photographs. Vignette puts a gray border around it, or a dark border that fades into the picture. Now, this particular vignette, to me, I think is just a little too dark, so I can take the amount slider and drag that out some. So I'm going to drag that and then click apply. Funky Focus, and of course you can play with these others at some point. Funky Focus has a couple I want to point out. Focus Blur. If you click on that, you'll notice everything that's in the circle that I have here is very clear, and then everything outside of the circle is blurred. So this is a good technique if you really want to draw attention to just one part of the photograph. And you can change the amount of blur and how big that circle is. They also have focus black and white, which is kind of interesting. So if you want to just have a certain part of the picture in color and the rest in black and white, and then focus pixel. Notice how it pixelates everything else. There is a reverse button, so you could just reverse what you don't want people to see. And sometimes that's handy if you need to, cover up, maybe somebody's wearing a t-shirt that's not appropriate or something of that nature. You could cover it up with a pixel there. All right, as we come down the page on the left, we have this little magic wand. These are some effects that you can pretty much just click on and it'll, apply the whole effect in just one fell swoop. And so these are fun to play with. So kind of look around, grunge and things of that nature. Notice some that have stars on them and circles. Those are ones that you would have to upgrade your account to get. So don't use those. Just use the ones that don't have the stars. When we come down, you have a brush tool, and these apply artistic effects. So if I wanted to make it look like an oil painting, I can click on an artistic effect, and there we go. And you can control settings with that. Down here below is a border feature. So if I want to put a border around it, there's some featured ones, but you can go into any of these here. And so I can come to film strip and, make it look like it was a film strip or a negative from a camera, that kind of thing. Text is pretty simple, as you would imagine. You just click on it and then double click to type whatever it is you want, and you can change the font and things of that nature and drag it around. If you decide you don't want it, you can just hit delete. You also have at the top an undo button. Over on the left, below the text, you have a thing called goodies. Goodies are kind of sticker type things that you can put over the top. Again, you can delete them if you don't want them. And there's a whole bunch of categories to look through. And the final one down here are effects or texture, that kind of go over the top. So you'll see different ones. Bokeh is a popular one. It adds little circles of light refraction. I'm going to cancel that one. Light trails are kind of cool. And you can switch the direction of them, or if they're at the top or if they're at the bottom. So different things to play around with there. A lot of people like grunge. Can kind of add some neat effects. So that's all there is to it on this particular part of the photo editor. So play around with some of those things. If you have downloaded a picture from Google, you can, bring that in and play around with your pictures that way. And in another tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do the collage maker, and then we'll talk about saving.